You're the dream. You're the future. You're the success story. Be it.
Don't nobody know your dream. Don't nobody know your passion. Don't nobody know your goals. But you know what they are. Let's go back to you.
I want to be a fashion buyer at
Okay. What about you, man?
I want to do something sports management.
Something sports management. What about you? What do you like?
I want to be a buyer, but I ultimately want to own my own business.
You want to own your own business. What about you? Back to what you were saying a second ago, you got to know your competition. Your competition ain't just people at Prairie. The competition ain't just people in Houston, ain't just competition and people in Texas. It's competition of people all over this country. I'm from North Carolina, and I'm quite sure I beat out people, who probably live right here in Texas. And most of my friends are from other cities and from other states. You got to understand who your competition is. It's not just black people, it's not just white people, it's foreigners too. And once you understand that, like, wait a second, how am I going to separate myself? How am I going to, what do I need to do? So you got to learn to ask more questions. You got to interview the interviewer. You got to put more stuff on your resume. Your resume is your brand. That's you. That tells me who you are. If you don't have enough on there, I'm going to pick the person right here over you. And if you don't know how to interview properly, you're not making good eye contact, you're not asking the right questions, I'm going to the next person. So understand, this is not your only competition right here.
Know your competition and know what you have to do to separate yourself from your competition. You're the dream. You're the future. You're the success story. Let me repeat that. You're the dream. You're the future. You're the success story. Be it.
Down to it, business is business. If you bring in a good product to them, you are your product. So if you are a good product, all that doesn't matter. When it boils down to it, business is business. They're gonna hire the best person. And in life and anything, you have to separate yourself from your competition. You can't just be okay, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. You have to be the best. If you're the best, it doesn't matter. They'll hire you. If they don't hire you, the next person will hire you. Somebody will hire you. So if you know you need to improve in some area, improve. And if you ain't high enough, you don't have enough time.
I think most of us who try to make those HBCUs, you'll find that that's been an advantage, disadvantage in your careers as opposed to going to, predominantly white institutions.
I can add to that. My first two jobs out of college, they sent me off as a recruiter, as an engineer, but I was recruiting everybody that the company hired. When we was looking for black employees, we went to HBCUs specifically to hire black employees. So just to let you know that. Another thing is, a lot of times your pay grade is not always low just because you went to HBCU. It just may be case by case. But in the end, what you learn here is the same thing that they're learning over there. 1 + 1 = 2. What you learn in business classes is the same. I've had arguments with people when I used to live in Knoxville, Tennessee. They were at the University of Tennessee, and they thought what they learned in the engineering school was better than what I learned in the engineering school. The benefit of being in a small college, you have the benefit of being able to have direct relationships with your professors. So in those big colleges, these entire rooms will be full, and it might be twice its size. Understand that you have a lot of value here, and companies specifically, going to black colleges when they're looking to hire black people. For example, not only that, for example, the National Sales Network, which is a black sales organization. They got one of the largest career fairs I've heard about and experienced with them. Black MBAs, when they have conferences, they have career fairs. The best career fair I've probably been to was the NSBE Career Fair, National Society of Black Engineers. So understand, join these different organizations. Number one, to have it on your resume. But when you go to these career fairs, these companies are looking to hire minorities at these events, and they have interviews set up at those events. The people who get there the first 2-3 hours, they get those interviews on the spot that day or the next day. So they come to look for you, but you need to be prepared. I know in college you have a lot of choices. You're on your own, and a lot of people are making a lot of mistakes. I played baseball when I was in college, and I joined a fraternity when I was in college. You know, captain on the team, you know, president of a fraternity, and I was involved in some other things. But the one thing that helped me the most was the moment I got out of class, I sat in that classroom where there was not a class in there, and I finished my work before the end of the day. That gave me the chance to hang out or socialize with my friends. But if you don't do that, you're pushing all that off to the evening time. And that's the time when you have the most peer pressure to do whatever you want to do. But that's the time when you need to do your work if you didn't do it during the day. So just make it a habit of knocking that work out right away so you won't be rushing later. It's very important.
No.
Something I want to add, just kind of took me back to interviewing. When you're interviewing them, you know, make it sound like you want to be with that company long term. Even if that's the 2-year plan for you or 1-year plan for you, so you can get experience. When you go talk to them, don't make it sound like, oh, I don't want to live in this city, anything like that. Say, hey, I want to grow with this company. One day, hopefully, I will become a manager, become a supervisor, become the president of the company. They want to know, they want to feel like you're going to be there because they're going to invest money in you. So, you know, use words like that. You may only be there 2 years. You may be there 10 years. You may be there 30 years. But make it sound like on every interview that you want to grow with that company because they're going to invest in you. They don't want anybody just to be coming short term because every time somebody new comes, it takes them 3, 6 months, sometimes a year to 2 years to get up to speed. So they want to make it sound like that. So when they ask you, are you willing to relocate? Yes, I'm willing to relocate. So I'd like to say thank you to the students. Thank you to the staff. I hope you enjoy the message. If you're a college student, I hope you can take some positive things away from this message because you have to understand, when you graduate, you have a lot of competition out there. Your competition ain't just your peers. It ain't just that circle of people you're around. It ain't just those people in the same city. It ain't the people in the same county as you. It's not the people just in the same state as you. You competing against people all over this country. And not only that, in some jobs, some career fields, you're competing against people all over the world as we're starting to bring more people from overseas to fill in certain positions. So you need to understand that. And if you understand that, it lets you know how much you need to put on your resume. It lets you know how much you need to put in you. It lets you know how much you need to prepare for those interviews. It lets you know how much you need to prepare for those jobs. I just want you to understand that. I'm hoping that's your biggest takeaway today. Know your competition and know what you have to do to separate yourself from your competition. You're the dream. You're the future. You're the success story. Let me repeat that. You're the dream. You're the future. You're the success story. Be it. Become it. Be the dream. Be the success story. Be it.
I want to say thank you to Prairie A&M University College of Business for giving me, Brian K. Rice, the opportunity to come speak to your students about my life experiences as a young professional and about my experiences as a former college student. I want to say thank you for that opportunity. Before I go a little bit further, I got to share a few things about my experiences at Prairie A&M University. First, I'd like to say I enjoyed it so much that I had to get me a Prairie View shirt before I left, so I enjoyed it that much. But outside of that, outside of just enjoying the event, you know, I'm gonna tell you what part of the event that I enjoyed the most. Yes, we spoke in different classrooms. We spoke in auditorium-style setups. We spoke in classroom-style setups. We spoke in panel-style setups where students, you know, just asked us questions over and over and over. You know, so we had all those different things. But what I enjoyed most was when those students came up to me afterwards and said, "Brian, will you work with me on my resume? Brian, will you work with me on some interview skills? Brian, will you help me? Brian, can I call you if I got a question?" That's what I enjoyed most about going to Prairie A&M University. You know, number one, that lets me know that I connected to some of the students in the audience. Number two, that lets me know that those students who want to better themselves and are willing to reach out to me or reach out to whomever to better themselves, it lets me know that I have to give back. I have to do what I can to help them if I have the free time. I believe strongly, and I hope more people, and I'm gonna try to do all I can to push more people to believe the same way. If you know somebody's willing to help themselves, if you know somebody want to better themselves, and they come to you and ask you for help, do all you can to help them. I know you can't help everybody, but help those you can. I know you're in college. You might be a sophomore, you might be a freshman, you might be a junior, you might be a senior. I want you to do all you can to be your complete best. When somebody asks you, if they ask you how you doing in school, if you say I'm doing pretty good, that ain't good enough. I need you to be real good, because your competition is real good. You're not competing against just people in your city, in your state, in your county, in your country. You're competing against people all over this world. In this country, in America, they're hiring people from everywhere to fill the job.